Meeting order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Village President Hawkins,
Here.
Ms. Bruni,
Here.
Mr. Detloff, here, Mr. Morgan, present, Mr. Pacini, present, Ms. Whirl,
Here.
Ms. Wheeler.
Present. We have a motion for approval for minutes dated 4/1/2024.
I move to approve the minutes of 4/1/2024 as presented.
I'll second. Okay, can we just add one thing? I apologize. Under the questioning of the in-town, I did state that, and he stated too, that it's not the proper forum for questioning if any of us live here, so that.
Okay. So move to approve that change.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it a little more clear the
Yeah.
issue. Okay, motion to approve meeting minutes from the previous April 1st meeting. Motion made by Mr. Morgan, I'm sorry, with the correction to add not the proper forum for residency question. Motion made by Mr. Morgan. Yes. Seconded by Ms. Bruni.
Yes.
Mr. Detloff. Yes. Mr. Pacini. Yes. Ms. Morgan. Ms. Whirl.
Yes.
Ms. Wheeler.
Were you here last meeting? Yeah. Okay, yes. Do we have any public comments?
No.
We have a motion for bills for approval for bills for payment and payroll.
Yes, we move to approve bills for payment dated April 11th, 2024 from the corporate general fund in the amount of $12,582.65. Also dated April 11th, from the motor fuel tax fund, $597.92. Also dated April 11th from the American Rescue Plan, actually the SLFR, $3,375.40. I also move to approve payroll ending March 30th, 2024 in the amount of $18,005.80.
I'll second that.
Any questions about either the accounts payable or the payroll?
Did I have a second?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Okay.
No question? Okay, motion to approve the bills as follows, dated April 11th, general fund, $12,582.65. Motor fuel tax, $597.92. And the FLFRF in $3,375.40. Payroll ending March 30th, the amount of $18,005.80. Motion made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
second by Ms. Whirl.
Yes.
Ms. Bernie,
Yes.
Mr. Detloff. Yes. Mr. Pacini. Yes. Ms. Wheeler.
Yes. Department reports. Department reports. Clerk Scott Dillon.
Okay, I have a few things here. Two of them maybe should have been under public comment, but I'm just doing it this way. First of all license renewals. I'm assuming that an oversight by done in for a couple point operated things, they were going to be sending the check for to make it all good. All payments, liquor license, tobacco, point operated are in and ready to go. You will see a new one listed there under St. Elizabeth. That is the corporate name of the company that will be taking over Circle K under the banner of BP. The first of next month is my understanding when that's gonna happen. So, but they've been in contact and got everything all up to date, license all applied for and paid. Any questioning concerning any of that? Okay. Some paperwork that came across to me, concerning 100 South Maple raised some questions. Me, I guess somewhat basically as a citizen.
What was the first part? I'm sorry.
The 100 South Maple
Oh, okay.
in, property, some paperwork that came in. This is a property that, you know, I'm not as old as dirt, but I was around when they carried it in. This property has been a 2-unit building for as long as I can remember. And as far as I know, the property next door has been there as long as I can remember. And it seems like we're spending a lot of legal fees and all that kind of stuff on this property for some reason. And it's been sold multiple times over the last 50 years or whatever. To do some, apparently it wasn't listed or zoned as a 2-unit, and now all of a sudden the properties are too close together and we have to get a variance, and we spent $269 on an advertisement in the newspaper for a hearing toward all this kind of stuff. Are we gonna get any of this money back somehow, way, shape, or form? I guess it's long story short on my question. We're gonna be spending, I know, a couple $1,000s probably.
We are correcting issues from the past that should have been done originally. That's all I mean.
There's no way to get anything out of the sales or proceeds
Oh,
from the
I
seller or
mean, yeah,
the builder
I
or
can
buyer.
ask the attorney about that, yes, but
That's kind of where I'm at. We're spending a lot of money kind of somewhat needlessly.
I'm not disagreeing. But when a realtor comes to us and we have to rezone a property, there's just steps that we have to follow. So, I mean, it should have been done originally, however many years ago, it was sold, and this is the time it got caught. But I can definitely talk to the attorney about the fees. Cause I know we're also we're having a hearing separating that property across from, Casey's too. That is obviously costing attorney fees. So.
Okay.
I
Enough
can
on
look
that
into
one.
it. I apologize. I'll ask,
Okay.
like I said, my
That's
hands are
all
tied.
I'm just, you know, it's
Yeah,
costing us all something for nothing,
I agree.
essentially. The only one making money out of that's the lawyers.
I agree.
Scott, I got a question on
Yeah.
that, how, since it was sold, I believe at one time, didn't Eddie F out all that?
Yep, and it's been sold since he had it, and now again.
And how was it listed at that time? Was it listed different?
I really don't know how it was listed. I just know how it was used.
Yeah, I think it's on whoever's buying it. They wanna make sure the property is zoned the way it's supposed to be. And if they bring it to us, we can't say, no, we're not gonna rezone it, so.
Sure, I can totally understand.
Yeah, no, I know, it's frustrating, I agree, but I can talk to the attorney about the fees. I never even thought about it, but I will do that.
Okay. Grand Park Foundation, which I am a part of, has 2 projects underway, essentially seeking permission to do it. Neither one is going to cost the village anything. The first one, and Debbie Morgan would like to paint a mural on the wall of that block building out there. And she sent me a picture of a rough idea of what she wants to paint, which will be a blue background and flowers underneath and a couple big bees over the top of it or something like that. And I have a picture on my phone. I don't know if you want to appoint someone to oversee that, give permission to it, or something like that is something she would like to start as soon as possible, and not like past donations take 6 months to get approved. If something like that could be done.
I think, yeah, I mean, you brought it to us, we can vote, if we want an official vote, we can put it on the agenda and vote at the next meeting. If we wanna do a stale vote right now, to see how everyone feels, we can do that.
Okay.
What was the other thing? I'm sorry. Do you wanna do that first?
If you want to, on the murals,
Do we
would you
wanna
like to
just-
see the picture of what she's wanting to do?
Yes, can we
Sure.
just, is your phone on vibrate today, sir?
Yes. Yeah.
Just teasing. I don't think it's trying to. You haven't seen it? You know you live together, right? Oh, wow, okay, that's not.
With a blue background.
That would be cool to have, you can do like pictures and stuff.
Proposed
I do not know if she might have to go with it or not.
Can't do it this year.
Yeah.
That's.
Oh, Miss
just
Quinn, yeah.
her doing it.
If anyone in the audience, just call Scott over.
Oh, okay. So you're here to help.
Awesome. Let me know Jean and Bobsy and Steve.
And again, she'd like to, but she needs another.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, certainly, yes.
Yeah, that's the old, whatever storage area now. Okay,
Alright, we can do a salt, a stamp, whatever it's called. Yeah, shovel. Ben,
Oh, yes, yes.
Morgan? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. All right, we
Great.
have permission
Thank
to
you.
let Miss Morgan know that project is a go.
all right, second project we're wanting to work on.
Yes, sir.
Back in 1990, our Grant Park Lioness organization paid for and donated a concrete stand exterior outside use fountain, which was installed out in the front,
Like a drinking.
a drinking
Yeah.
fountain.
Mhm.
If you see the concrete kind of elbows out, comes back, that's where that fountain was out there.
Mhm.
We have the fountain. We found it. There's a plaque on the side of it. There's a reason I'm so smart on the dates. The mechanism for the fountain needs to be replaced.
Mhm.
And what we understand, at least 15 years ago, we don't know how long ago exactly, that somehow the line got froze going to it,
Okay,
broke everything.
yeah.
And they basically ripped it out, did something with the line in the ground
Mhm.
and put it in storage.
Okay,
What the foundation would like to do, here again, at no cost to the village, is to get it reactivated again. We have found the mechanism to put on the fountain. The major hiccup right now we have to do is to find the water line,
right.
find how it was disconnected. If it's been disconnected, it might still be live, because we've been searching all over this building this week, thinking we would find a turnoff somewhere back there that
Yeah.
would say to the water fountain, and there is no such thing.
Okay,
So, we'll take it on ourselves to redo it, but if the all worst case scenario, if we don't find it, we may have to trench a new water line to it from the building going out there,
Mhm.
which we would cover the cost of doing that, and we've basically got the equipment to do it already lined up to do it.
Okay,
Here again, seeking permission to do such a project.
understood. We can do another saw vote if you'd like. or
It might
sand vote.
require
I'm sorry.
Tearing out some concrete up there, which we'll replace on the sidewalk, to get down there to find where the water line is.
Anything you guys do, you'll undo.
Yeah, yep, anything we tear up, we'll
And it
fix.
costs us nothing. Okay,
Nope,
Ben,
Yes.
Morgan, sure, yes. Gary,
Yes.
Robin? Yes. Suzie?
Sure. Yes.
I say yes, go ahead.
Lioness.
I never, it sounds cool, though.
we have an idea, see the area where it's marked out goes in there. In the middle of that is like where they ripped it all out. What we're told is that there used to be a hole there that they would reach down and turn off a valve.
Hmm.
What we think they did is just maybe filled it up with stone and put a little bit of saccharine over the top of it. Yeah, if you can,
Yeah, no,
if
I
you
would-
can find it, that'd be great.
Oh,
But we
that's
think it's
nice.
underneath that one area that
Yeah,
somewhere in that area. We might have to dig a little bit further back to see, and we don't know how deep it is. We presume it comes direct out along parallel to the building to that location, but we don't know that for sure.
sounds good.
Maybe after the meeting with the general
Sure.
location.
Sure.
Okay.
It's great. Thanks.
Will you keep the original plaque on there then, or?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's mounted in such a way it doesn't bother anything. There's an access hole to the opposite side of it. That cover is gone, which we'll make a new one for. It's a small 6x6 or something like that, which was probably just access to disconnect the fountain, and it was bolted to the concrete, which I think they just undid the bolts and carried it away or whatever, but which we'll have to redo all of those, which is not a huge deal. So,
That's great.
yeah, any other questions to it? I mean, it's a nice, if you don't know what it looked like, it's about 1 inch thick concrete of some nature with like pea gravel, stone,
I
that's
remember.
glued to it,
too. I was-
all on four sides, roughly
Mhm.
16 inches square and about 3 foot tall. So,
I mean, water fountains are coming back, so
yeah,
you can just fill up a water bottle. Anything else?
okay, that's all I have. Thank you so very much.
Wow, all right, Scott, thank you. Attorneys report, I have nothing, but I will get with them tomorrow. We have a call about TIF. I will ask them about the fees for all of the rezonings we have. For the engineer report, I have our bid went out for, they're calling it the North Main Street Drainage Improvements. Bids were opened April 11th at 2 p.m. The estimates came in, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 estimates. The winning award went to Kankakee Valley Construction Company at a price of $195,551.59. Those funds are going, majority of those funds are going to come from the SLRAF funds, to fix that drainage area, and then it will also tie into our Main Street projects whenever that starts happening. Neil also wanted to reach out to the village, the next the next cycle for grants, like we did with the walk path, is coming up in September. That's a 2-year, cycle grant. It only comes up every 2 years. So if there was any projects, any of the board members, or also maybe citizens would like to, see, get done, Neil suggested possibly connecting, the projects together that we have going on, the, Essen Farm to the Main Street to the Taylor Street, which would connect to the walk path, so there would be one walk path from whatever, or anything else, that is an 80-20 grant split on the item, so. And it's not ITEP, I'm not exactly sure what it's called. Ordinances and Insuring Committee, Miss Susie Weedle, no reports, thank you, ma'am. Streets and Alley Committee, Mr. Frank Pacini.
Okay, a few weeks ago, Steve was approached by Great Park, grade school.
Grade school, okay.
And, Mike and, Steve, JD and myself met with Superintendent and Mike last Wednesday.
Mhm.
And we went over some things and, Steve sent me an email to go, this week. And then, so,
You want me to read it? You talk kind of softly.
okay,
Thanks. Okay, a few weeks ago, Grant Park Public Works was approached by Mike Ewald, the head of the maintenance for Grant Park Schools. His concern, as well as the concern of the superintendent, Palin, is the flooding in front of the elementary school. He said the flooding seems to be getting worse, and it was creating larger and larger potholes. He asked if the village could do anything, since he believed the majority of the issues were on village property. After looking up property lines in Kankakee County GIS website, it does show that most of the problem areas seems to be on village property. The question is now to go about fixing the problem. The superintendent mentioned the flooding areas get bigger every year. He also mentioned the area is sinking. He just mentions that it's possible to fill with stone or be paved. So this is obviously something that we have to maybe get with, Neil and them about, and see. Have him take a look and see what the thing might be,
here's,
or Aqua, yeah.
sorry,
Thanks, Rick, I got it. Oh, wow, yeah, these are,
you'll see there's a lot of water there.
yeah. I don't have elementary kids schools, so thank God I never have to drive over here, but
And it does show that, the village,
yeah,
basically what
the
happened
GIS,
is they paved it a long time ago, a while back, And the people that did it did not do a good enough job, so
Gotcha.
it sunk. So a lot of it, what they're looking to do is maybe split the cost, because, you know, the line shows that the village has part of that.
Right. Okay,
So what we wanna try to do is maybe get Mr. Palin here at a meeting and discuss it.
okay.
If so, I could maybe see if I can get in touch with, see if we could hear the next meeting.
Yeah, I know they usually do their meetings on Mondays. I mean, if you want, we could sit down with them together and go over a plan or a project and then bring it back to the board, just so
Okay,
no one, just make it easier on everyone.
Right.
So, schedule wise and stuff, we can try and do that, if that's okay with the board. Absolutely. Okay,
Yes, if you can access probably some of the sewer fund money if it's stormwater.
right, yeah. Anything else, sir?
no, that's it.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, this looks long. Gary, Finance Committee, Mr. Gary Morgan.
As I mentioned last time, KC detail has submitted a tip, and our tip administrator has reviewed, and all of the trustees should have Mindy's report. She's our tip administrator, and basically what she said is that what they applied for is all an acceptable tip project. They asked for 56,611 of that. The cost gap analysis, they said they paid for 3,000. And basically Mindy is saying, okay, the 53,000 is doable. But in order for us to actually look at that, if you're actually looking at tax, the actual basis of the tax increment financing, it really, their property would only generate $15,000 towards what we would get in the TIF project. But basically, all the businesses that we've given this money to, that's all that they would be able to actually generate. We give the businesses more money because really the TIF, everybody in the TIF zone, like my house, I'm gonna be putting shingles on the roof. I could apply for a TIF grant. Well, individuals have never gotten TIF awards. So basically, all the money has gone to businesses. And I think that the question is, do we only give them the 15,000, or do we give them all the 53,000 that they're asking for? And I guess I'm leaning, because we've always done it with businesses, is to give them all 53,000. But again, what I want to do is ask the board, and this again is just off the cuff poll. Jamie and I are meeting with Mindy, the TIF administrator, and Mike Sanchi tomorrow, the TIF attorney, to actually hammer out the final details. But unless you see a problem with the 53,000, I think that that's what we'll do. Again, just about all the TIF that we've done in the last 4 or 5 years, we've always given them pretty much what they ask for, as long as it fits into what Mindy says is approvable and the gap analysis is correct. So, do any of you have any questions about it?
I think since he meets the criteria, it would be hard to deny him
Exactly,
because we haven't done it to any other business.
exactly,
So this would be a first to say, no, we're not gonna do it for you, so I don't see what would be the problem.
right. Anybody else have any questions?
I know TIF is super, it's so all over the place.
It is all over the place.
They keep changing the rules on us, so it is kind of hard to, but Mindy, she gets a good amount of money to make sure that we are following all the guidelines, nothing can come back, so. Like Ben said, it would be impossible to deny it, knowing he has everything in there, so.
So unless somebody else objects, I think we'll go with the full amount that can be approved. And what we've also done, the last few years is say it's a 3-year payout. So I'm thinking that we'll just continue what we've done for the last, really, a year or so ago, we did the Historical Society in one payment, but that was a unique thing.
And
They
it was
don't
just
pay
one
any
job,
taxes,
yeah.
basically, and we just felt that they needed to get their money, pay off the rent. But everybody else that we've done TIF with, it's been 3 years. So unless somebody sees a problem with that, that's what we'll ask for too. And then what happens, Mike Sanchi will put the actual contract together, and we'll actually come back, and that we'll vote on. That will be a motion, we'll vote on that. I just want to make sure you're okay with it before we went to the point of doing the contract. Okay, moving on. We've talked about this previously. Basically, Carl does his burnout and some other things that generates money for the police department, and he wants to be able to access that. Right now, we've been storing it in the best account, and he's pretty much been able to spend it out of there, but it's very cumbersome. What we'd like to do is set up a separate account, basically, although the bank fully would like it to be a sub-account of the best account. And they would keep them separate, we would keep them separate, but Carl would be able to have a debit card. So that he could, if he needs to spend something for shop with the cop, he can use a debit card. Still, the trustees have to vote on that after the fact, like we do with all our credit card sales. And of course, we could question Carl about what he's using, but basically, since he generated that money especially, we'd want to put it in a separate fund that we could also spend from. Do you have any questions? Otherwise, I'll go ahead and make the long involved motion. Yes.
So will the burnout contest still fall under best?
No, well, sort of. It'll be in the best account, but it'll be in the sub account that's separate.
So those numbers will not be included in the best
No,
numbers?
no, it'll be best and be the sub account. As far as the bank's concerned, it's the same account. This is a sub account, but every time we report it, it's gonna be reported separately. And kept track of separately in Locus.
Okay. No way can go under the police? I mean, I don't know.
No, because it's, everything else with the police is generated from taxes or other kinds of revenue, whereas this is just a donation. And while there is a line for donations in the general fund, it really isn't accessed very often. And Carl's been really successful with getting money just for the burnout.
You're happy with that?
Yep. Okay, then, any other questions? Otherwise, I'll make the motion. Okay, I move to approve a separate sub-account for police department to deposit funds received as donations or from special events to be used for special expenditures via debit card or check with the usual accounting oversight required by other similar accounts currently in practice within the village finances. So, somebody can give a second, that'd be great.
I second that. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve a separate sub-account for the police department to deposit funds received as donations or from special events to be used for special expenditures via the debit card or a check with the usual accounting oversight required by other similar accounts currently in practice within the village finances. Motion is made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
seconded by Ms. Whirl,
Yes.
Ms. Bruni,
Yes.
Mr. Dadloff,
Yes.
Mr. Pacini,
Yes.
Ms. Weedle.
Yes.
Okay, I have no other.
Thank you, sir. Community outreach, Mr. Ben Detloff.
I just have one thing, next Monday, the 22nd at 6 p.m., we will have a fest meeting at the Village Hall, and I have some new information to share with whoever's at the fest meetings. We'll
Okay.
discuss it that day, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. I think, so far we have it down to 2 days, correct?
Yes,
Okay, just so people,
Saturday and Sunday,
8,
it
9?
was in the newsletter that Carrie just sent out also.
yeah, no, was it 8, 9 or 9, 10? I'm sorry.
Whatever I tell you, I'll be off the date.
I know, me
We'd
too.
have to look
It
at-
is 7, 8. You're on luck.
That's. I'd have to take your word, because I'm not.
Yeah.
so-
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, September 7, 8. Okay. And then meeting, okay, buildings and ground committee, Ms. Robin Gray.
I have nothing for tonight.
I do have a report on the roofs. We did get an estimate from Romans Roofing on the police department. I'm still waiting on 2 others to get back to me on that, and then after we get those, I'll bring them in front of the board and we can do a bid thing. Law enforcement committee chairman, Ms. Morgan Worrell.
I just have the calls for service for March. The police department had 85 calls during the month of March. The summary of the calls is, 5 accidents and crashes, 18 ambulance calls, 5 mental cases, 16 assisting other agencies, and 5 domestic disturbances. The Corvette sold in February was recovered in Vallejo, California on Friday. with an arrest, no further information.
Wow. Thank
No
goodness.
idea how that.
Real
Jeez.
fast. So is it here?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You, Carl?
I have just one thing.
Yep.
Looking for ideas. Last year, we did the burnout contest, we did the kids title car races,
Nice.
and Wick put them together for us. I'm just wondering, was that successful enough that I think we do it again?
Yes.
Okay.
I've
I
never
mean,
seen
I thought it
people
was
smile
very
that so big.
I know, right? It was, it felt like it was 1,000 degrees, but they didn't care. They
No.
just-
Yeah, I think it went over really well. I think some of the adults that wanted to write it.
Yes.
I would.
Yes, there were some adults.
We would have to, but, okay, I'm just gonna proceed then
Can we
with.
get a Dole?
What?
Can we
We
get
don't
a
need
Dole?
to make them like.
Bring my own.
Right?
I couldn't really.
I think we'll have to get more, liability for
Yeah,
ourselves.
but, I think it went really, really well, with the T-shirts and doing all
Oh, for
that, and that's why, I guess I thank you for approving that, because a lot of times I have to access those funds. If I have to wait on getting a check, it just slows down the process.
No, agreed. Thank you,
Thank you.
Carl. I have. Chamber of Commerce has sent out its annual. Golf outing fundraiser. I believe we usually sponsor. We will do past practice. We usually just do the. Whole sponsor, as the village, if that's okay with everyone. And then Dr. Palin sent a letter to myself and the trustees. He would like to personally invite us to the, academic signing day on May 10th, 2024. It is from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our school does an amazing job of recognizing kids coming as a senior, even if they're not going to an Ivy League school and they're not going to be a doctor, they're gonna they're gonna follow their father's footsteps into a trade or into farming, or a daughter is going into, gonna stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. Our school recognizes each senior if they want for anything they're gonna do after high school. And I think that's amazing. I have had the privilege of attending for the last 3 years, 4 years as a parent and 3 as the mayor. And it's a good time. So if any of the board members would like to attend, you don't have to be there all day. You can just be there for certain students you might know. Please contact Miss Stephanie Tavoletti, to let her know, what time, or if any of us want to attend. I know Carl tries to go to all of them. I haven't taken the day off. I'll be there for all of them. So,
What's the date again?
May 10th, Friday, May 10th, 2024. They start at 8:30 and they go to 3. I think it's like every 30 minutes is another student, or 45 minutes. The
Yeah,
parents,
yeah.
they bring a parent in, the students get to recognize 1 or 2 of their teachers. Dr. Palin is there, the principals are there, and they just recognize the student for all they accomplished in high school. Also, I have. Friday, April 26th. Our town is known for Driver Tractor to School Day. We love it. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. They do a little parade in front of the elementary school for the kids. And then they end at the high school where the kids get to have a breakfast and just hang out for a little bit before school. So anyone who is gonna be home that morning and would like to see some tractors coming by going to school, on that day, if anyone's driving, if you see a tractor, if you could just be a little bit more cautious. A lot of accidents do happen because tractors do move slower and they don't have as much equipment as cars, so just be mindful of that. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes, we need to adjourn.
All in favor? I know, I just kind of threw that out there. All in favor?
Yes.
All right, motion adjourned, or meeting adjourned. Just trying to stop. before I can grab the ball.
Lion, it's basically.
Oh, they do, oh, my bad.